the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Yo, what's up into his house? Well, it's two houses. I have my house, you have your house, and together we come into the house of Altered Confusion, sir.
Okay, yes. Well, I think it's lots of houses. Let's just put it that way, because there's viewers out there like you, and kind of you, that are in all different places. So, ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific commenter himself, Zealeus.
It is good to see you, sir, with the big OW hat.
Yeah, even though they in trouble.
Oh, dear. What'd you do?
It's not me, I promise.
Well, you're carrying the flag on the hat, so I'm not sure who else to blame, but you gotta learn to take responsibility for your actions, sir.
Come on, man. Go
I know
easy
you can
on
do
me.
it.
Look, all I'm saying is that right now, the Atlanta Reign are number 10 out of 20.
That's 50% better than we would be on a team.
Ha!
Does that count for anything?
Probably.
Hey, you know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is a show for you by you, where you provide us with the topics, and we try our damnedest to try to discuss the topics that are most important to you. At any time during the show, please do not hesitate to drop a topic into the chat window, and we'll try our gosh darnest to answer it as well as we can.
Yes, we answer questions, and we are always not correct.
All right, let's start off the show with an easy one. Maybe?
Is there really anything easy on Altered Confusion?
No. Well,
we live to make life difficult.
Look, see, Altered Confusion tries to make life interesting, not difficult. But there has been news, and it's widespread now. It came out 3 days ago that the streaming platform that Microsoft had created to rival Twitch and YouTube Gaming. Which, didn't YouTube Gaming go away? So I guess it's Facebook Live.
YouTube Gaming, that went away a while ago.
Even though people are like, oh yeah, it's no longer YouTube Gaming, it's just YouTube streaming.
I remember we tried doing some stuff on YouTube Gaming like once.
Yeah, it was weird. Not gonna lie, it's a wee bit weird. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. I've already misplaced that window. Whatever.
Oh no! Too many windows, sir.
Indubitably. Okay. So Mixer, Microsoft's answer to Twitch, is going to shut down.
Oh no! What shall we ever do? Does this platform actually really shut down if nobody knew that the platform existed?
Sounds like what's that streaming service? Quibi?
Oh, Quibo's, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, look at all these crazy people we have. But, it's like the time that there was this console called the Ouya. If you don't market it, no one will come to find the damn thing.
Well, I mean, Microsoft, they at least tried to sign, they signed Ninja.
And Shroud.
And so, two huge streamers to try to get the masses to congregate over to
Mixer.
Mixer. But I think the bigger problem is let's just say even you get their viewers to come over, you still need the casters. That's what really, to me at least, makes the community of the different platforms is you have a whole plethora of people casting and streaming their, games and nowadays entire life stories. So, okay, you get a few viewers, but if you don't get the people coming over to actually create the content, you haven't really gained a whole lot. I think that's kind of where it fell short.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that yes, they sign to some hell of good deals for the streamers.
Oh, very good for them. You kidding me?
For Ninja and Shroud, they signed exclusive contracts. But the thing is, once again, it's about the marketing. I feel like they're like, okay, we got Ninja, we got Shroud. Ninja's on all the time, so he'll self-promote. No, You're the platform. He's the talent. He's not supposed to promote you, you dumbass. I just feel like Mixer has always been kind of like in like the side view mirror when it comes to, you know, people streaming on that platform. And
it's
so
like
it just, you know.
Well, it's all those things. Microsoft saw all the shiny gold that Twitch was making, and they're like, "Hey, we have a operating system platform. We have a video game console platform. You put two together, we should be able to make a streaming service, right?"
Yeah.
But the problem is really the streaming service. It's the community that makes the service.
Which apparently there really wasn't a community.
Yeah, and that's something Twitch to this day still seems to magically do very well, is having that gaming community.
So, so the end result of this, I guess, you know, closing of Mixer is that Mixer is partnering with Facebook Gaming.
And again, I think that's another product nobody wants.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Facebook has so much other like live broadcast stuff that is just like a subset. They don't have like their own, you know, like silo of it. It's just like, oh yeah, you could game on Facebook.
Is that any different than like when you also simultaneously do a live broadcast on Facebook? Is that the same thing, or is it separate things?
No, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh,
because when I stream, it asks for the game or the type of stream I'm about to do. So, anywho, so basically everyone who was part of Mixer is being invited to join the Facebook gaming family.
Wow.
Now, of course, everyone's going, okay, well, what about Ninja and Shroud? Ninja and Shroud, Facebook tried to get them to come over. But after this failed experiment, pretty sure Ninja and Shroud are not going to sign an exclusive deal unless it's with Twitch and unless they pay like a shit ton of money. But they basically, because they didn't want to do Facebook, Mixer had to buy out their contracts. So Ninja, it's estimated that he made $30 million and Shroud made $10 million. So for the short length of time that Mixer had an exclusive contract with those two, you know, heavy hitters, they made bank.
That is not a bad payday at all.
No, how long is, let's see, how long has Mixer been around? Launched January the 5th, 2016, but it wasn't called Mixer at that point.
Oh,
so
that's right.
4 years ago. It lasted 4 years.
So, yep, that's a pretty
or something or blend.
I don't remember.
Ah,
Either way, they made out pretty well, and I'm sure that if they go back to Twitch or another service, well, if they go back to Twitch, because what other service is there?
YouTube.
They will do well. They will make the monies. They'll bring in their peoples.
I mean, the thing is, they still had all their sponsorships. You know, so it's not like they're going to be hurting. And if you look at Ninja's way of approaching this, it's just freaking insane what this man does. I mean, he literally streams every waking moment of his life, and he's said that this is what he's going to do. He knows that he's making a shit ton of money doing it, and he's already got like I know it's going to sound crazy, but he's already got a 10-year plan. It's not really a 10-year plan. You know, it's probably shorter than 10, but he knows how much money and how long he's got to go before he could quit. And he is going to walk away at some point with a shit ton of money. Although,
yeah, he had. Remember, he was on the front page of wasn't it Sports? Was it ESPN the magazine? And that's basically what he said was, you know, make enough money so him and his wife can retire and have a family.
Yep. Exactly. I wonder. Okay, so Ninja and Shroud signed exclusive deals to Mixer. I feel like there's some other people. I know that, like, in real life or average life, you know, real life streamers, that Facebook's got a couple of those, but I don't know if I can't remember if any other gamers have exclusive contracts.
I do wonder though, like, let's just say you're a shroud or a ninja, like, and you retire, like, are you still gonna have the desire, even for fun, to play video games? Or is it almost like, would you almost be burnt out from playing so many video games for so long?
Well,
Like, I feel like I'd get burnt out. Like,
I
at some point, it seems like it would lose its fun. Um, that's just kind and you've spent so many hours where you might find different outlets of enjoyment in life.
no, I think there would be more. I think once the cameras were off, I think that they would, maybe take a step back from gaming, but also maybe kind of dabble in some of the games that are not humongous. Because right now, if you want to be a big name streamer, and you want people to have, you want a lot of views, you got to play the popular games. You can't play.
Sure. Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think of a game off the top of my head.
Bastion.
No, they probably have some bad.
Well, I'm talking him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you. I mean, well, obviously we know it's a great game, but I'm talking in terms of making $30 million a year type of streamer.
Here we E.T. from the Atari. How about that?
Oh, so you're going really, really old school.
Well, I'm just saying, what's one of the worst games? Actually, there's probably people out there who try to play the worst games.
I'm about to say, actually, that could probably be a thing they do.
All right, fine. Madden 09.
Just pick a random year for your Madden.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Have you
not
seen
in
the
past 2
Madden
years.
ratings on Twitch?
But what I'm saying is, that they would have the ability to maybe. I mean, if they still wanted to play games, they could, try something different.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But good for them. I mean, it's a shit ton of money. And Brink. Oh, I forgot about that game. I don't think many people.
They could play Defiance. Now, that would be a game because so few people play Defiance.
What was the name of that game? Shit. Dekatana. The one that crazy dude. What the hell is this guy named? The guy who. He was big in the britches but fell on his face.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about now.
Katana. Katana. John Romero.
Oh yeah, no, the dude of Doom.
Yeah,
Yes.
Katana. What was that monstrosity EA made last year, 2018? Oh, you know what? If you were to play the original release, no, glitch people would love that stuff. I was going to say the original release of Assassin's Creed.
Oh gosh.
Unity, or that Batman game where if you ever got in the Batmobile, you're fucked. What was the monstrosity EA made last year or 2018? Now I'm curious. Now I'll have to think about that. I don't know.
Hasn't EA made lots of monstrosities?
Yes. Way too many. But okay. So now let's keeping it in the land of streaming here. And speaking about the flying shooter. The flying shooter. Damn it. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. What was that game that was like huge, like
oh, wait a oh,
I know, it's
wait,
here.
no, that was BioWare, wasn't it? I thought that no, are you talking about Anthem?
Oh yeah, there we go. Anthem is a good one. I still can't believe that they released something that looked almost identical to it for free, and then they're like, "Hey, pay a shit ton of money and do this." Yes, BioWare game.
Yeah,
Th-
I think that. Mass Effect and Ramadan.
yeah, yeah. Or what was the other one? What was the game that everyone had like huge thoughts about, but then it kind of bailed at the end? It was supposed to be like this procedural generated uh, co-op like space game, but when it finally came out, it only had like single player, but they've been adding stuff in it.
Star Citizen?
No, not oh Jesus, I'm not going to talk. There's actually quite a few people who stream Star Citizen, which is scary.
Yeah, I saw it was pretty decent on the Twitch rankings.
Yeah, there's currently 4,000 viewers for Star Citizen.
Ooh, I didn't know there was
What was the
4,000
other one?
players.
Something Skies. No Limit Skies? Something?
Skybridge to America.
No. Anyways, I'll have to figure it out. It's gonna bug me, but anyways. But let's talk about streaming services, and that of course leads us to Twitch.
Twitch? Wait, there's a Twitch?
So there's some news coming out about Twitch. Okay. And in response to an outpouring of sexual assault and abuse allegations involving talent and management firms, Twitch has started rolling out permanent bans the company's announced Wednesday night. No Man's Land. That's it. But they've been correcting that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I do remember that came out to all the fanfare. From what I've heard, though, it's one of those games where it started out like, really? But kind of like you said, they made a lot of improvements to the game over the years.
Well, No Man's Sky. The thing was they owned up to it. I think that's the biggest thing. It's scary as shit to own up to. Yeah, we said that this is going to be awesome, but we fucked up. But we're going to try to fix it. And so, oh never mind. But anyways, back to Twitch. Twitch has started to roll out permanent bans to talent and companies. Basically, they've prioritized severe cases and will begin issuing permanent suspensions in line with their findings, stating that it is still in the process of investigating some allegations. In many of the cases, the alleged incident took place off Twitch, and we need more information to make determination, which is always an interesting thing. You know, it's there. Are you the same person while you're streaming as you are in real life?
I would guess there's a very good chance of no. It's kind of a little bit to me like online dating, where you meet this person online, you have this persona, and you think you kind of know that person, and then you go out like a real life with real people, and some of the same. They have some of the same things, like maybe the same interests, like haven't magically changed, but the actual persona and their kind of in-person quirks and their actual personality, I would say that definitely changes in real life versus kind of the virtual world.
Well, I mean, you got to think that there's a lot of people out there who stream who basically they don personas. They are not, it's kind of acting,
Oh, yeah.
In
I would
way,
agree.
You might do things differently than you do in real life. There could be, something as little as someone while they stream, they only. You don't know that they're an alcoholic because they only drink like water or energy drinks. But when they're not, I mean, they're sloshing drunk. So I totally understand. If you're doing harassment, you're doing sexual abuse, any of that stuff, I don't care if you're on or off. You should be, but
yeah.
But the thing is, the question becomes, can a company ban you for stuff you didn't do on their platform?
I don't see why not. I mean, there's no legal right that I can access Twitch at any time. I mean, Twitch, for whatever arbitrary they want, they can block me on Twitch. I mean, we're not talking about access to the federal government here. It's well, publicly probably traded company. But
Twitch is owned by
Amazon.
Amazon, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see why a company can't basically block you for any arbitrary reason they want.
Yeah, I guess I could see it. It's just, it's an interesting line that,
I guess there's a different question between should they be able to and can they?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the answer is, can they? Yeah. Should they be able to in some hypothetical world? It's an argument you kind of hear at schools, right? Is most schools, private schools in particular, they can basically kick a student out for any reason. Like, you don't need a reason. You're just like, yep, you're no longer welcoming them in our doors. But then you ask the question of, most private schools have some kind of magical line somewhere in there where basically when you're off campus, you also represent our school and its values, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I think both you and I have been aware of situations at private schools where kids have been kicked out for things that did not happen on school grounds. You hear stories. Well, you hear stories of students getting caught at parties with alcohol and drugs and other things. Well, guess what? Those parties, it's not like they're at the school gym. Well, sometimes they may, but most of the times they're at some kid's, basement.
Right.
And we've all heard the stories of those kids getting expelled from school. And, to this day, that's still a question. And should that be a thing where, you're not at school?
Okay. So with that mindset, the school party thing, because once upon a time in a long, in a universe, long away, far away, whatever. I was an RA. I was a resident assistant.
Yeah.
For a university, and the way that it works, at least at this university, and a lot of universities follow this, is if it's a gathering of more than 4 or 5 people, then it becomes an event that it's a school event, even if it's unsanctioned and whatever. So if you have underage drinking, then your ass is grass.
Yeah.
Because if you have, more, it really boils down to like fraternities and sororities and that stuff, but it could, it gets broadened to, the I don't know, model UN group. So, I can see it from there, but okay. So back to this, the Twitch thing. Twitch has not outright and said who's all banned. However, apparently there is a Twitter account that is dedicated to just listing the bans. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know like any of these streamer names. I don't actually watch a lot of streams. I'm sorry. When I usually am the one streaming. So I don't really watch a lot of streams unless it's, I used to watch a ton of Smite and Paladin streams and the specific players. Barracuda is still my favorite. For Smite. Anyways, so some of the users that have been named is I Am Spoon, Bless RNG, Warwitch TV, Dreaded Cone, and Wolf21. There are 2 big name streamers, Syndicate and Say No to Rage, that apparently are in the crosshairs as well. And Zealeus apparently is that the link?
Yep.
Okay, it's streamerbands.com. So, you're not going to see all the confusion there. But Zealeus you'll find. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's because of my hat, man.
Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with that. You can't be wrong for cheering for the Bruins, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyways, so, look, in this world that we live in right now, it's not surprising that everyone is stepping up their game, taking like the sexual abuse allegations and the bullying and stuff. They're taking it seriously. They're actually trying to do something, because right now everyone is under the microscope, and if you don't take care of the stuff that's happening, then you're going to lose it all.
Well, you look from Twitch's perspective. What is Twitch? It's a video game streaming service. Right. Well, I know they stream other things too now, but that's its core audience.
Yeah.
And do you want your core streamers and audience to basically be miscreants? And I think Twitch, rightfully so, has said, no, that is not what we are and what we stand for, and to ban some people. I think it's also, to be fair, I think it's not an easy call. Kind of going back to the school example, for instance, like that's pretty straightforward. Like, were you drinking with people or not? It's pretty cut and dry usually for like schools is figuring out like basically do you kick you out of school. But then, now you're talking a streaming service, you're talking tens of thousands of users with a very wide degree, varying array of what, some people might like, that wasn't harassment. That was just good natured ribbing, for instance. Or,
where do you draw the line?
Yeah, I think that's very different on a streaming service where that line starts to get much more gray. Kind of like last week when we talked about like the magic cards and how they banned some of the magic cards, and they banned some of the very obvious racist cards. Like they just were very blatant, straightforward. But then people were just, well, what about these cards? Or what about these cards?
Right.
And so I think it's the same thing in this. It's kind of like, where do you kind of draw that line? And I don't, kind of like you, I don't know a whole lot about these particular streamers.
Yeah.
And my guess is they basically took like the most blatant, obvious ones.
Yeah.
To, at least draw the line somewhere.
Right. And ironically, one of the stories that came in this week is about Magic the Gathering. We talked previously about all these cards being banned because they're seen as racist. Well, there is a artist that will no longer be part of the, I guess the Wizards of the Coast family. The artist that goes by the name of Noah Bradley is cutting ties with or Wizards of the Coast are cutting ties with him. Basically, what happened was he was engaged in inappropriate sexual conduct with members of the magic and artist community. Basically, abusing his power, which of course is what's getting a lot of people, destroyed right now, is that they think that they're above the law, and now it's becoming more and more apparent that no, you're not.
Well, of course, was obvious one that kind of was Harvey Weinstein with his obvious abuses of power as far as the director goes with actresses and who knows what else. And I mean, in this case, it's kind of that story of. So, question: have you ever watched The Boys?
I watched the first 2 episodes. I've read the graphic novel though.
It's a fascinating show because it the characters are such. They make it like me. They make me actually uncomfortable.
Yes,
because it's such overt, but like they're not even like antagonists. Though that's what it's done so well though.
Yeah.
In that regard, and it's very intentional to make you uncomfortable. And some of the things, basically the abuses of power that go on, you kind of watch the show, and obviously it's a fictional world, but it's also very easy to draw the parallels to see like how easily that could happen in real life.
Oh God, yes.
Like, cause like just the way it happened, like, the opening scene between 2 of the superheroes and a very sexual thing. It's like, that happens in real life.
Because what the scary thing is?
Mm-hmm.
They cleaned up that scene from the graphic novel. The graphic novel was whatever her name was. She had to take care of all of them.
Yeah, that's very different.
Yes.
But that's happened in real life. You got some young new star at a very promising career, and they're faced with a decision. And I mean, it's very easy for us to, kind of sit here and judge and be like, well, you should have said no.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's
ethically, yes, maybe.
Are you in or you out?
But then if you say no and you're now on the street, not one of your options.
Yep.
So the show is well done in that regard, where it makes me like physically cringe. but in a way it's supposed to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Superman
a really interesting show in that way.
Is fallible, basically.
Sorry, was that?
I said Superman is fallible.
Oh yeah, the take on Superman is fascinating.
Indeed. Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on. First of all, Gunny Chief has pointed out, wow, that is a purge, and you're right. I think let's see, this month, it is at 147. That's not the highest ban rate though, but it's getting there. It was 31 bans in the last 7 days. But
I'm actually kind of surprised with everything that's going on with race and everything. It honestly hasn't been higher. That in terms of sometimes people like to bait the system basically and shock value. So I'm just kind of surprised in that regard that you haven't had more people try to push the envelope to be like, ooh, I can, really kind of be the edgy in what I'm saying. I'm kind of, or maybe it's got people to be like, maybe I should just shut my mouth.
Okay.
And
so,
not be an asshat.
Yes. This is a total weird ass tangent, but you said edgy, and that made me think of Edge. And I was beyond surprised to see him jump back into the ring. What were your thoughts?
I was really surprised. I mean, I think it was like 8 years ago, he retired. I mean, he had it was the thing where if he took one more bump, which for those who don't know, in wrestling, a bump is basically when you get hit. Like usually it's falling on the mat or something.
I thought his
one
back
more
was
bump,
completely jacked or something.
No, like it's fused. Like he legit was. If it happened one more time, he would become paralyzed.
Yeah.
But I guess through surgery or rehab or whatever it is, he was able to basically pull through and be able to wrestle again safely. Safely, that's the key. As safe as it can be in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
And so no, he actually had a really good wrestling match 2 weeks ago, I guess. But he ended up against Randy Orton, the Legend Killer.
Let's see here. Edge accepted the event.
And he ended up tearing his triceps.
Yep. Tore triceps.
Yeah.
Sidelined for 4 to 8 months. Shit.
So I wonder if he's going to do acting again in the meantime now.
It was May 11th. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so the live pay-per-view, I think, was 2 weeks ago, but they recorded it ahead of time.
Right.
Is what they ended up doing. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens if he steps back into the ring or if he's like, okay, maybe it is time to just become a full-time actor. Because he's shown that he has the acting chops.
To be totally honest with you, I really liked him in Haven.
He was okay in Vikings. The problem in Vikings, the character wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think it was his acting. It was just like there's a couple of interesting actual stories and characters. And the entire storyline he was a part of, to me, was just kind of not the storyline that I cared about. But Vikings is actually apparently in its last season.
I think a lot of shows are starting to ramp down, especially with the COVID-19 kind of stopping a lot of the productions because it costs a lot of money. And that leads us into our next topic, and that is, of course, an ex-PlayStation boss believes the current AAA development growth is unsustainable. Basically, he's of the opinion that budgets need to drop or the prices for games must change. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Duh. I mean, I've been preaching this for a while. That's why I've been so intent on trying to push the indie creators, is that they're working with a very small budget and they can make amazing things, but they can also make original things. All these companies are spending a shit ton of money on basically like reboots, sequels, or remasters or reimaginings. They don't really want to go out of their comfort zone because it costs so freaking much.
Yeah. And I guess the interesting thing is would there come a point where, because AAA title cost, let's be honest, they're only going to go up, there's to come a point where they have to increase the launch price of AAA titles. The I forget the guy's name, but he pointed out the $60 AAA title. It's
Sean
been that
Layden.
way. How long has it been $60 for AAA title? It seems like it's been forever. And inflation's gone up. Production's well outstripped actual inflation cost. So will there come a point? Think about even like movie theaters, right? How much have movie theater tickets increased over the last couple of decades?
Right.
They skyrocketed. So what is it about that $60 magical limit that they won't go for launch?
And I think, the one thing that a lot of people need to understand is that some people may see that $300 million budget and go, man, everyone working on a game is going to make a shit ton. And that's wrong. Most of that, the thing is, for better or for worse, the vast majority of the game industry, most of the industry has this wonderful and terrible mindset of burn them and turn them. They will basically ground you into the ground and then move on to the next one. So that 300 million gets spread very, very thin, and you basically get jack squat unless you're one of the higher uppers and you got royalty rights. But even then, there's still, you're probably still getting screwed because, yeah. But the
creative accounting, man.
Huh?
Creative accounting.
Exactly. But I mean, that's the thing, though. A game can, the problem with this pricing guide, it's been $60 for at least PlayStation 3, maybe PlayStation 2.
I feel like it's been forever.
But anyways, the problem is you're now going against, of course, with all this technology, you want to push as many pixels through and make it all pretty and stuff, but then you also have to go against length of game, because a lot of people have an issue, Zealeus being one of them, about paying $60 for a game that may take 8-10 hours period.
Sure.
You wait for it to drop into the bargain bin, which of course decreases the return on investment that the companies have. I wish there was a easy way to do this. Crowdfunding is a fun idea, but it's flawed. And Star Citizen shows that it could be a black hole money pit. I don't know what. You can't. The problem is that if you were to change the price of AAA titles, you'd have to do it across the board. You couldn't just be like, okay, and you would also have to have the entire industry go, yep, that's the new price. Because if one company were to be like, our games are now $75 a pop, you're going to lose your customers because every other game is $60. So, you're kind of stuck in this situation where more than likely you may get your money back, but probably not. That's why you've got my wonderful illustration of, you no longer get the complete game. It's all DLC.
So that's how they do kind of, in a way, make up for the $60 AAA release title price is through the other stuff. So in that way, the game, for the full game, does not actually just cost you $60 anymore. It costs you 60 plus.
Yeah, it's usually like $60, and then like the first DLC is probably like $10-15, or you could do the season pass, which is like a flat 30 or 25.
That's true.
And then you also get the then of course you got your aesthetics, skins, in a game that I've been playing a lot of, Legends of Runeterra, to get like a different card back so that your cards look different when they're being, handed out to you, it's like $5 for a different back. It's $10 to do like a different playing field. That's how they make their money. But then again, Legends of Runeterra is, I'm going to start using the terminology that Nintendo is using, and that is free to start.
But think about the irony, though. So, think of a AAA title, $60 to start, right?
Yep.
But if it's a free-to-play game to start with, the vast majority of gamers are never going to spend close to $60 on it.
No.
So there is definitely some fascinating. I bet there's some like economic PhD students out there who are who can make like some fascinating analysis of all these charts and how they all work together. Some really cool pivot tables, man.
Okay, so real quick, I looked up the Star Citizen live stats of the amount of money that they have raised, and it's currently sitting at $302,739,297.
Great, googly moogly.
And that, my friend, this crowdfunded project campaign started January 9th, 2012. And they ain't done. By a long shot.
Did they ever create their foreign, weren't they like creating languages?
Yeah, someone was making alien linguistics. I don't know. I can walk around terribly. Yeah.
That's almost $1 for every United States citizen.
Yeah, basically. And the number of Star citizens, the number of individuals who have put some amount of money into the funding of this game is sitting at 2.7 million people. I'm one of them, by the way. I just a couple of years ago, I jokingly said, "Man, those SOBs, man, they think of all the people that they stole money from." And that it turns out that I, at one point, had donated $125 to Star Citizen. So I was like, foot, meat, mouth.
Well, there you go. Sometimes, but that's also life. It's the process of just kind of learning. And, think about it, though. You've did how many of these Kickstarters? And when's the last Kickstarter you did?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
And do you think that you would do more Kickstarters now if so many of those had not epically failed?
Actually, I already know the last Kickstarter I did.
Okay. Craig Campbell doesn't count.
Damn it. Okay. Well, fine. I don't know then.
But I think to the point, though, okay, so I think that's actually a good point. So, you've stopped doing, in large part, your Kickstarters, but why do you continue to back Craig Campbell's Kickstarters?
Because I know that Nerdburger Kickstarters not only get funded, but you get a return on investment. You actually are going to get the thing where, there's still games out there or projects out there that are still in limbo.
That you'll never see.
That I'll never see.
Yeah.
Or, this, of course, is there was one project that I paid a lot of money to get like extra added bonuses, but the problem was the company that set up the Kickstarter was not the actual talent. And that company and the talent had a falling out. And so I didn't get like anything but what everyone got for like the bottom tier.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks because I paid a shit ton of money to have like some personal art drawn and I never got it.
Well, that's just crazy talk.
Yep. It's bullspit. That's what it is. Bullspit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that a lot of you are just sticking around this show because you want to see how bad Zealeus and Charlie are going to be hurting. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Steam Summer Sales.
No.
Yes.
No more sales.
Big name titles that are like at least 40% off, if not more. You have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Ooh.
For $5.99. Damn it.
See, here's my conundrum, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I have an okay graphics card.
Yep.
And like the other day, there was a really good sale on a graphics card that I almost got.
Yep.
But then I'm thinking about like, okay, let's think about this for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a PC that's still, not the highest graphics, but still basically capable of running any game.
Right.
Maybe not Cyberpunk 2077. Who knows? But still, it can run stuff. I have a Switch, and I'm still considering getting potentially the Xbox One Series X or a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of take that all into consideration. I'm like, is it really worth upgrading the PC that much when I might just go into consoles? And that's kind of how I feel at the Steam summer sale right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where like right now I'm kind of on a console kick. So I'm even then a little bit of like, stay away, no Steam summer sale. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, hell, you could get. Oh, that's dangerous as shit.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Nah, I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just
No, I
say
want to know.
that the most enticing thing, and the thing that has gotten Zealeus and I so many times with these Steam summer sales are the bundle options.
Oh yeah.
You buy all these together, it's 78% off. It's still $25, but you get all these games.
You can
and you do
get
it a
it
couple
all,
times.
sir.
You do it a couple times, and boom, you're dead.
I like how they call it on the landing page. It's the summer sale gateway sale. It's certainly a gateway to something.
Well, I mean, they're like they're getting you a lot of virtual tchotchkes. Like you get this special. It's like they're trying to create like gaming avatars for you. It's really weird. Like because I clicked on it. You're gaining points, and those points you can add a free sticker for each day of the summer sale. You can gain an avatar frame. There are animated stickers. I don't know what any of this shit's for though. You got mini profile backgrounds. I mean, this is like what?
Sounds like something requires you to like play with your friends on.
No. It's buy shit on Steam, and you can unlock, an avatar frame. Which I didn't. Do I have? Am I supposed to have an avatar on Steam now? What? When the hell did that happen?
Yeah. Avatar's your little icon, dude.
Oh,
I think.
It's been a picture of Hawk for I don't know how long.
Or is that something different?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Anyways, I mean that's what. Oh, and also during the road trip special, if you could save an additional $5 on a purchase of $30 or more.
There's so many options, man.
Huzzah! Okay, so
which one have you bought?
I haven't bought any.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I have been able to hold off on buying anything simply by just playing Legends of Runeterra, which you may have noticed I've been playing a shit ton.
So that leads me to a question then.
Yes.
So I started playing because I forgot I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Book of Demons?
Yes.
You beat it?
No, I did not beat it. I got to a point in Book of Demons where I don't know what the hell was going on. It felt like there was something broken with the rogue character because I couldn't add any equipment to her.
Really?
Yeah. So I just got frustrated, so I stopped playing. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. There's some definitely painful pieces to the game. But I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just I think that something happened.
I like it. It is definitely an interesting, unique take on the RPG.
Yes,
hack and slash.
It is. Oh, I have some other devastating news for everyone out there.
Oh dear.
Chuck E. Cheese files for bankruptcy. I thought that they were already gone, but
Where am I going to go in my costume now?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah. So in a funny bit of news, you know how I've been very adamant about the very popular Switch game that I do not understand why everyone's playing.
Oh.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, yes.
So this past Sunday was Father's Day, and so I went over and spent time with my family, and my cousins were there. They both brought their Switch, which I was super jealous about because I wasn't told I could bring my Switch, because I would have been gaming with them. But they were both playing Animal Crossings, And like, oh man, you got to really get in. What you get into, it's amazing. I'm like, I'm not getting into this. And then, oddly enough, my son comes up to me today and goes, Dad, you should really get Animal Crossing. I'm like, who, what? No.
That's awesome.
Like, well, Matthew Thomas were really having a lot of fun, and it looked like fun, so you should get it. I'm like, no, damn it, no.
So you're going to get it?
No, I'm not getting it.
So I did find one interesting new thing. I didn't know that's just a thing now.
What's that?
So on Steam, when you look at customer reviews, there's this whole like graph chart.
Yep.
I don't know when that even happened. It's like fascinating data analytics that now I just want to spend like hours on reviewing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Listen to my son. No, Gunny, no. Damn it. No.
You better start learning now to listen to your kids, man. And you're just gonna win. Yeah, it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier.
Now that if you fall prey to what your kids ask you to do every single time, then you'll be living underneath their foot the rest of your life.
It's gonna be a big foot, my friend.
Humongous. Zealeus, have you started watching Avatar yet?
No, I've been watching The Boys. It's been my show right now.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'll let that pass.
Well, apparently now Avatar: The Last Airbender's in the HD version now on Netflix too, by the way.
Okay,
I was very confused about that. I was like, "Ow!"
For the love of all that's holy, it came out during standard def, basically. So I mean, I don't understand.
Like, did it make it? Like, I know some, like, for instance, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Was totally the era of SD television, and there's an HD version, but for everything I've read, the HD version is actually terrible because all they do is there's no actual like post-production. They literally just try like magically upscaling it, and it makes it worse.
Of course.
So I kind of wondering how Avatar is, if it's the same issue as Buffy.
I feel like it's kind of in the same ballpark as if I were to pull out one of my my computer games that I ran back in like the Windows 95 era and to try to play it on my computer now, and how it'd just be completely effed up and probably just crash.
That's how I felt about Diablo 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
I tried doing that. I remember because it's made for like a, 600 by 800 monitor, and you go up to like a true 4K TV. It's like, oh, that's ugly.
Yeah. Yarp. What? Hold on. There is a. Okay, so we talked earlier about the PlayStation, the ex PlayStation guy talking about, how you should raise the price of games because of the amount of money it takes to create it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just found another article, and maybe I misread this thing that I previously read. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I see. Okay, they just the one article says you can't keep up with that. You got to increase prices, and the other article says you need to make the games shorter so they're cheaper to make, so you could keep the $60, which I could see in both regards. I could see that, but I look. If you make a shorter game, that's not
going to help.
Yeah. I mean, the games are already getting shorter because it just costs a shit ton just to make like the environments.
Yeah. But so many pretty pixels.
Oh, whatever. Let me stop real quick and do our shout outs, and then Zealeus and I are going to discuss some convention updates. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, we have some amazing friends of the show out there, and I do want to stop and give them a shout out a second. There are amazing things that you need to know about. The first, of course, is the Indie Cluster. Indie Cluster was created by Ron Jones. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. Indie Cluster is basically an organization that will get convention floor space and then help independent developers have some of that floor space, so because floor space at a convention can range anywhere from, maybe $100, but it can also go sky high. It really depends on the convention. Also depends on the amount of space you have. The indie cluster is trying to help not only get you space, but also give you a little bit of attention. They post, they try to do meetings. They try to help people market with other people. It's a great organization you definitely need to check out. The second shout out, of course, has to be Hero Chiropractic with Dr. Ryan. He has been my chiropractor for over 3 years now. He just adjusted me 2 days ago, and I continue to go to him because he knows what he's doing. And for all those gamers out there who feel like they have a little twinge in their back or maybe in their shoulders because of the way that you sit while you game, definitely give Ryan a look-see or a call, and he will help you with all those types of aches and pains. The next one is a friend of the show. We previously talked about him earlier. That, of course, is Craig Campbell. Craig Campbell is is the owner and creator of Nerdburger Games. Nerdburger Games is pencil and paper or tabletop RPGs that are more about the storytelling than it is about trying to figure out all of your stats with trying to do calculator and pivot tables and charts and stuff. It's more of the game, the story and the game experience. Of course, to me, that's humongous. Of course, is the guy behind Merge and Acquisitions, Capers, Die Laughing, and then several several different iterations of of Capers.
Ah, yes.
And then
DLCs.
finally, I know they don't. What do you say, Zealeus?
DLCs.
Ah, yes, DLCs, yes. But reasonably priced. And of course, this one really doesn't need a shout out, but we still love them. That, of course, is Battle and Brood. That is our bar of choice in Atlanta. It is in Sandy Springs, just north of 285 on Roswell Road. It is a place for all gamers of all shapes and sizes to come hang out. If you are of age, there are amazing drink specials and drink concoctions that you can partake in. Of course, there's amazing food. There's board games. There's card games. There's PCs that are all set up for you to play on. There's also TVs with several different consoles that you can utilize and have some fun. And of course, there are theme nights, some of them being half off gaming, others being trivia, some of them being cosplay, balls, all that kind of stuff. Definitely check it out. battleandbrew.com.
Indeed, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the thing that is just in everybody's mind. That, of course, is conventions that are still planned for this year. And DragonCon has come out and has an update for us. So, Zealeus, take it away.
So basically for DragonCon, it is still, as it currently stands, it is still happening. However, if you so desire, there's a form that you can fill out to basically delay or transfer your membership from 2020 to 2021 free of charge and all that good stuff. Same thing applies because a big part of DragonCon is the hotel experience. So be it the Marriott or the Westin or whatever it is, basically DragonCon has worked with all the hotels to make sure that you can either cancel your hotel reservation or transfer your hotel reservation automatically to the 2021 convention. So that's already been made, and it'll be interesting to see what happens from here of whether or not, honestly, DragonCon still happens. I know for myself, a couple of my friends had already basically been like, I'm probably not going. And now this makes the decision a whole lot easier for all of us to basically be like, yeah, we're passing on this year. And I have a feeling that you'll see a lot of that.
Now, speaking of conventions, there has been an update. I had previously stated that there was a rumor that PAX West was going to be canceled, simply because, it's in Seattle, Washington, which is still a hotbed area for coronavirus and all that stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, PAX West has an update. The people behind PAX explained that while they still had hoped to bring you PAX West this year, protecting the safety and health of our community is our highest priority. The more we worked on a solution, the more it became clear that if we really wanted to welcome everybody home, we'd have to remove the physical barriers entirely and simply take PAX Online. Going digital means a lot more than just a change in venue, though. And by transcending the physical
and italics,
we're able to do more PAX than ever before. PAX Online is the result of the convention organizing supergroup made up of the people responsible for PAX West, PAX Australia, as well as our new friends at EGX to create our new PAX Online and deliver a steady 24/7 stream of content, events, discussions, and gameplay. Oh, and did we say 24/7? We actually meant 24/9 because we're going to be running this virtual shindig for 9 straight days from September the 12th through the 20th.
Interesting.
So, if you have access to the internet, you can go to PAX Online.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think there's any convention out there that was made to be able to make the transition from basically in-person physical to the online realm, whatever your imagination of that is, PAX makes the most sense because let's be honest, most, PAX is centered. I know there's obviously the social part, but PAX is about video games.
Yep.
And video games can be streamed, broadcast, talked about, whatever you want to do, that can all be done virtually. So from that perspective, PAX makes sense. And honestly, I could see for PAX this being an ongoing thing where maybe every year there's actually a PAX Online. I mean, think about it. You can't, we can no longer really, if we wanted to, go into PAX East would be really hard for us, right?
Yeah.
But PAX Online, something that we could still be like, oh, cool, we could do PAX Online now. And I could see PAX Online actually being a fallout from this that persists and actually building that PAX community spirits. So I think seems like a smart decision on their part to do this.
I agree. Now, speaking of virtual, virtual conventions, this one, there's another convention that's virtual that literally is coming up in less than a month. And this, of course, is coming from the crazy brains behind Adult Swim. There's going to be an Adult Swim Con, July 23rd through the 25th, 2020. It's going to be an AdultSwimCon.com. Basically, it's going to be live events, cosplay cup, panels, giveaways, music, and surprises.
Surprise!
It'll be just like the real con, but less sweaty and more free. Their words, not mine. I always feel like Adult Swim's always got some fun stuff happening, so I can't say,
The one that I do find interesting is that, okay, so you got the Adult Swim Con and you got PAX Online, is that all of them appear to be completely free, that they're not, that they're not trying to charge any kind of cover fee for it. I don't know if that would have been successful or not. I'm not saying it would have been or that's a good idea. It's just interesting to me because this is all going to cost them money that they're not going down that route of, even a virtual badge, kind of like Blizzard basically did with BlizzCon.
Right. I think what we're seeing here with all of these free conventions, these online experiences, is that because you're removing the barriers of having to physically be there, there's a chance of gaining an audience, people falling in love with how the content that they were showing, or the talent that will show up, and the payoff, of course, would be if next year, 2021, where they're able to have an in-person thing that they could, you'll be so interested and so ready to go that you'll be willing to pay the money to go. And I would not be surprised if next year, if they do have a physical convention, that they also have a virtual one that has a little bit of an entry price tag, kind of like the BlizzCon model.
Yep.
Or BlizzCon, of course, if you're fucking lucky as hell, you could get you could actually get a ticket to BlizzCon, but there was also like an online thing that would allow you to get some of the convention goodies, and also get to at least participate or tune in to some of the awesome panels or reveals that would happen at BlizzCon.
Of all of them, BlizzCon's honestly the one I'm surprised that didn't go virtual. just because they already did it. So that's just I know, the physical part was obviously a big deal. That's the one that actually surprises me still that they didn't do that.
To be honest with you, I think that this kind of came at a good time for Blizzard because I'm almost 100% sure that if BlizzCon had gone on, they would have been in the crosshairs about what the hell are they going to do with the fact that Valorant has basically just pile drived them in the nuts every single time, and they're supposed to have this multi-million-dollar professional sports league that's city-based, and they're losing some of their top talent to a game that literally just went gold.
I would say that's a very fair point. And I guess the question is, what does Blizzard have to announce? Because that's always been a thing with BlizzCon is announcing cool things. Is to your point, Blizzard might actually have that sigh of relief because they also weren't going to announce anything interesting. Who knows? Maybe Diablo the more mobile game.
Christ almighty.
Is that still actually in production? Did that ever release? I have no idea.
Diablo Mobile? I don't know. Let me look. I hope it didn't, because that always... There it is.
Because that was like a year ago.
Diablo Mortal is an upcoming title.
Yeah,
it was announced in late 2018. It's planned released on Android, iOS. No set release date. Actually, here's the website. So let's pull that up real quick, and let's see if they've got anything for me.
According to
there's going to be news at BlizzCon about it.
Oh, darn.
Oh, nuts. But let's be honest. I'm sorry. I really don't like hack and slash real-time games on my mobile device because I have humongous hands, okay? Like putting my damn hands on the touch screen basically takes up the whole fucking thing. That's why, like, it's what infuriates me when I have to do like precision stuff on games. Like you got to aim and release and pull back enough. I'm like, basically I put my finger on the screen and all the information is underneath my damn fingers. So this has never seemed like a fun idea. Make it for the Switch.
I agree. It might be, there's always the question of maybe the right hack and slash just hasn't not been released for the phone is very possible. But by and large, I would definitely agree with your assessment that the hack and slash on the mobile phone it's just that experience isn't the same.
Well, the other thing, and this is, this boils down to an issue that that before smartphones was a huge issue with mobiles, and that is that you don't know what kind of device you're going to have. There's a lot of games that have to be very, very careful with what version of iPhone or Android phone that your game is going to be playable on, because certain phones will basically blow up.
Sure.
Maybe not physically. I hope not. That would be bad. But, at the same time, they just can't handle it. It's like the old school cell phones. Once upon a time, long time ago, I actually was part of a development studio that made cell phone games.
What?
And we had to make at least 8, if not more, versions of the exact same game because of screen size, processor, and also the architecture. The vast majority of games back in the day, or vast majority of cell phones, fell into 2 categories. One was, of course, J2ME, which is it's the mobile Java language, and the other one is Brew, which was basically C++ for the cell phone.
What's totally off topic, but speaking of mobile phones, big announcement with Apple this week where their desktop units are going to the same ARM processor that their mobile phones and iPads use.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So that's a fascinating one.
Well, at least it's not Motorola anymore.
Well, that actually affects my job because that's what I use at school. So I'll be interested to see if that affects us. My guess is for
interesting though.
For people like honestly schools, I doubt it's going to even be a blip on our radar. Only because most of the software that you're going to see probably schools and the majority of companies, there's
Mhm.
always exceptions,
Mhm.
but the majority of companies, they're using like the Microsoft Offices and the Adobe Suites and Chromes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Developers like that, they have no problem making that switch. They've already been making basically for the ARM processor, like they've known about this for years. It's been pretty obvious.
Which is
So I
all the more
think,
reason to have your office suite be virtual, so that it sits on the cloud,
yeah,
whatever your browser window, so that
sure.
you don't have to jack around with different architecture and stuff.
So I think for some of us, it won't even affect
You
us.
probably won't notice, but to some people, the purists who are like, oh, a different processor.
Or if you're doing like boot camp, that could be interesting.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for most of us, it'll be fine. The big question is obviously from a architecture standpoint is do you actually gain performance or is it the same? How does that work? And then also battery life.
Well, are we going to see basically? Uh, I don't want to say de-evolution, but when when Apple was, I think it was Motorola, and then of course PCs were AMD and Intel. You could the way that the machines were built. PCs were all about the gaming, and the Macs were all about like the graphic design and
Yeah.
like the heavy hitting, that type of. I wonder if we'll see something more like that. Maybe a return to the more powerful like design thing, but I don't know.
Well, I think gaming is getting what takes the biggest hit on Apple's.
Yes.
Because you have some games like I know World of Warcraft runs on it, Overwatch. So there's a few bigger games that run on the Apples, but by and large, they're an afterthought.
Right.
And most of your mech gamers, they're going to boot camp anyways, honestly. So I think that's if anything is going to take a hit
You
on
mean
the Apples, it's going to
boot
be the
camp?
gaming.
What do you mean boot camp? You mean dual boot?
Boot camp is when you boot into Windows.
Ah, got it.
Sorry, yeah. So it's the equivalent of dual boot. So in Windows, yes, we call it dual boot if you have Windows and Linux, usually is your operation. But on Macs, basically their equivalent of dual boot is where you boot into Windows.
Mm-hmm.
And the key on that is kind of you're pointing to is Apple used to run on the Power PC. That's probably about 13, 14 years ago. And then they switched over to Intel in large part because that's where all the applications ran in. And it was still a different operating system, but it was a lot easier for developers to then develop for the same Intel architecture as this other Power PC, which is, I think, was what the Sony's actually ran on for a while, the PlayStations. But anyways, now with Intel, but now Apple's like, nope, we're doing our own. But it's the same that iOS runs on anyways. So a lot of developers are used to it at this point.
The PlayStation 3 and 360 and the Nintendo GameCube and Wii are on the PowerPC CPU.
Yes. Yep.
But they basically, if I'm reading this right, it looks like everything kind of just went kaputskis around. Shit, I can't tell.
They all went Intel or AMD at that point.
Yeah.
After that,
basically, desktop.
Seems like a lot of times it's Intel processor, but AMD graphics card.
NVIDIA.
I think I had an NVIDIA graphics card. I think that was the very first PC I built. I had an NVIDIA graphics card, but I've been AMD since then.
I've been NVIDIA. Still have NVIDIA. I'm just saying. God damn it. Stupid Windows update. It's reinstalled a bunch of shit that I didn't want on my computer.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we've reached the time limit. Well, it's not really a limit. It's more like the end of the show for now.
It's my cat's feeding time.
Yes,
that's why we have to
Zealeus'
sign off.
cat's feed time. So we have to be very observant of that sacred time on a
I know she's
Thursday.
around here some here waiting to eat my face if I don't get off soon.
Right. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to I want to point out that Tuesdays and Sundays there's a stream on Alter Confusion from 8 until 11, and then I have started to stream sporadically throughout the days, maybe on a Tuesday or Sunday or Thursdays. We of course have this show every single Thursday. It is a live show from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
7:00 Central Time,
to about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 8:15 Central Time. And basically, this show, all you need to do is add your voice to the chat room, put in your topics, your questions to us through one of our social media means, and we will try our best to accommodate said question as long as it's within the ballpark. And I forgot something. I knew I forgot something. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Alter Confusion is basically run out of the Alter Confusion wallet, which would be me. Alter Confusion has been around since 2007. And we hope that you are able to help Alter Confusion continue on. We need help from you, those lovely, amazing people, the lovers, some of the haters, the audience, the supporters, all that stuff. We have a Patreon page. Patreon, of course, is a monthly monthly donation to Alter Confusion to allow for upkeep in equipment, going to conventions to cover those costs, because conventions ain't cheap, even for like fan tables and tables that or media. All that stuff. So if you go to patreon.com/AlteredConfusion, you could start at $1 and you go up to any amount you want to. It is a monthly charge to your whatever payment type you've chosen. If you do go higher than I don't remember what the top tier is. I think it's like $5. But if you go higher than that, please reach out to me. I love that you're giving Alter Confusion more money to work with. But if you're going to give us more than the tier, I want you to basically get a big enough bang for your buck. If you do not want to do the Patreon route, but you want to do a one-time donation, if you're watching this on Twitch, go just below this. There's a panel that has a Donate Now button. That'll go to our PayPal account. And if you're not watching this live, or you're listening to this recording, because there is a video, which of course will show up on YouTube, and the audio will be on Podbean, you can go to www.alteredconfusion.com, and on the left-hand side, as the website still looks like, there is a Donate Now button that will go there. If you do not want to do something monetary, but you want to send something to Alter Confusion, by all means, you could send something to Alter Confusion. And all you have to do is send it to 1551 Dunwoody Village Parkway. That's DUNWOODY Village Parkway, and this is super duper important, number 88276. That is the P.O. Box number. You do not put that number on there, we will never get it. You will get it back in like 3 to 5 business days. The city is Dunwoody, DUNWOODY, Georgia 30338. Now, of course, if you do not want, if you want to send us something physical, one, make sure that it's, in the Alter Confusion realm, and two, if you do send something, put your name in there so that we can thank you properly.
Or don't piss Charlie off.
Yeah, and make me look like I'm making people up.
I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
Shut up, Zealeus. Now, of course, if you're financially strapped, or you don't want to send something to Alter Confusion, the best thing that you can do for anything, for Alter Confusion in general, is find the post that you like, share it, favorite it, follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Patreon. Or I said Twitch. Yeah. Subscribe to our podcast on the iTunes podcast store. Follow us on our Podbean account. Actually, there's 2 Podbean accounts. One's for the interviews and one's for the Thursday night hangouts. But there hasn't been a new interview for a while. So, and I was kind of hoping that I'd have some from MomoCon, but of course MomoCon didn't actually. Well, I mean, it went virtual. But that being said, I think I've basically run through my entire checklist. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For
Thursday
myself,
night.
Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything coming over our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.